This topic in Yerushalmi Eruvin, the article Oz V'Hara edition, we're on Daf Gimel Amud Aleph, the second line, Rebbe Matir Sadra. And we're in the Vilna on Daf Gimel Amud Aleph, further down, 3, 6, the seventh line down. Rebbe Matir Sadra Beis Sharim. Rebbe was Matir Sadra in Beis Sharim to carry on Shabbos. How many pillars does the Sadra have? The Sadra is covered. It doesn't necessarily have walls. So that's what the discussion is. Did it have pillars? How many pillars? Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Yaakov Bracha, Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Yossi, Yaakov said, and Rabbi Yossi said, well, actually, Rabbi Chia, Rabbi Yossi had a machlokas. Chadam Ashishmona had said had 6 pillars, Chadam Ashmona had said 8 pillars, it seems, per side. Rabbi Yaakov Bracha lo play sign machlokas. Man Mashisha, he holds it with 6. Lo machashiv ilin trei baria. He's not counting the 2 outer ones, meaning the corner ones. Man Mashmona, he counts 8. Machashiv ilin trei baria. He's counting the corner ones. Rabbi Yaakov Bracha b'shem Rabbi Lezer said lo. I think it's same Rabbi Lezer. Yeah. Lo sof davar shmona. Lo sof davar shisha. Lo sof davar shmona. It really doesn't matter 6 or 8. Pillars don't count. If the people are passing through, afilu, Reb Chaim changes it to changes the comma in the Shleim this line, the comma, and the Shleim next line to this Shleim, the comma, and the comma next line to Shleim. Afilu comma yusrin. If there are people passing through, it doesn't matter how many pillars you have; it's no good. Meanwhile, in Bokaba, people can't pass through. Afilu shnayim yumutarim. Even 2 are permitted. So it has to do with people going through, not with the actual number of pillars. Now, Reb Chaim adds a lot into the Gemara here. He says, if Ryan Bogi Bafil Kami Usurin, and we don't say Pi Tikra unless there are 3 complete mechitzos. Don't say Pi Tikra on the 4th side unless there are 3 complete mechitzos. If Ein Rabin Boikin Ba, such as it's open to places where you can't really walk because there's a lot of mud or rubble there, or there's a small short wall which is 3 or 4 tefachim high across wherever people could go and go out. So b'kitzur, people can't walk there. Well, then 2 are also mutter. We say pitikra based on 2 walls. So pitikra, in order to say pitikra, you need 2 walls adjacent to each other because they're in Pascha Rabbi Yehuda by the Gesher Mefulash that 2 walls parallel to each other are good enough. You need 2 walls adjacent to each other. Question: we need 3 walls. So he said, if Rabbi Bokim Bo, you need 3 walls, because otherwise people are just passing through. Maybe Rabbi Bokim Bo, all you need is 2 walls. But the amount of pillars doesn't really make a difference. That's not an issue. And therefore, so it's a little bit chassid from the Gemara, but the Chaim is taking the principles of Pi Tikra into effect and to understand how the Chsadja work. So, Madahava, Avda. And the question is how many, in Rebbe's case, Beis Sharim, there were these pillars, but that what's essential is whether people are going through or not going through. Okay, a Sadra which is burst open on its entirety on one side to Shus Rabim, Rabbi Love, Rabbi Yechanan, Train Armin, they both say Metalta Bakula. You could carry throughout the entire Achsad. Again, because Tikra Yard V'Soisim. Shmuel said, no, only for Amos. So Rabbi Yosef said, why only for Amos? Doesn't Shmuel concede by a Mavi which has a roof, even if it's above 20 Amos? They're allowed to carry in the Mavi? So why not in the Achsadra? So it's very fascinating, killing a shas here. That is slightly, not directly related, but it's fascinating. It says, Efshar Talmud Pi Mashkasa B'Yisrael Mitarah B'Shem Mari L'Kach B'Ner Chanukah B'Chutz. By Ner Chanukah, only it's outside the house. L'Mal Michal Pasul is a pasul about 20 amos. Shum the Avir Mazik Le'nayin. Because look up is hard for the eyes. V'Nechol Abi L'Mal Kol Mashiyotze can't look as high up as he wants to. Shekim Mali by it's supposed to be light in the house. It's like Avir, there's no air. I feel L'Mal Michal Shalta Be'ena. Even above 20 amos, it's good. Ayin Sham. Within Khan came in the Mekuret. Here too, since there's it's roofed over of a lake Avir and there's no airspace. I feel L'Mal Michal you can carry even if it's 20 amos, it's good. V'zeni Ramash Kasa Rashi, but it's called Shar Al Din Gimel. V'chein Yireh Li. Rashi has a chiddush. So it's a Chava Shiva if the Korah was 7 tefachim wide. Av she'ena bria, even if it's not strong enough that could be makabel or riach, to accept a brick. Ksher, it's kosher. Shkora chava shiva. Anytime it's 7 fucking wide. Ha'ayin shalatisbo. Ha'ayin shalatisbo is like the opinion sukkah that if even a 20 amma sukkah is kosher if it's at least 7 by 7 fucking. Ha'ayin mishun mechusa shalta be'ena dumi the sukkah ba shiva. According to that opinion, Badukan, I guess. If I make up Eruvin, that would work. So it's a very radical sheet of the Rashba, but that's the idea. So why not here? Also, the Achsad should be kosher because it's Makura. Shmuel must hold like me. Yesterday, that all the Hechsher Movi has to be within 20 amos and not above 20 amos. And it's Asa Rabbi Acha, Rabbi China, Shem Yoshia, and it's like as if it says V'chenki Asa. And then Rabbi Acha, Rabbi China, it's Kim Rabbi Yoshia, Hechsher Movi, Hechsher Kor Toch Esrin. Okay, so it has to be within 20 amos. Rabbi Yosef said, I feel the Savar Shmuel B'Movi Mekura L'Malam Esrim Amma Kosher. It could be that, no, Shmuel holds Movi Mekura above 20 amos is good. But low down, nevertheless, low down me Movi L'Achsadra. Radical chiddush here, that the Movi is going to be more lenient than L'Achsadra. Okay, and it's none of this is in the Bible at all. So the why feel so much more Movi and Kol Mami Mitzvim Kosher lo daim Movi L'Achsadra. Movi not a tashish batim. Movi's made a tashish batim. And with the Pnei Moshe explain, Korban Sorry explains, batim yeshem arba mechitzos. At least part of it has 4 walls, the houses. Achsadra always says elatashmish. Here it says davar. The Yerushalmi Eruvin brings down a different girsa. Avar with an aleph, which is avir, and it's not made. In other words, it's not made for the sides. It's made for the airspace itself. In other words, it's not the houses looking into the mavli. It's the airspace of the Achsadra itself. So the house looking to the mavli, they see the kiri on top of the mavli. They're paying attention. They're not going around to go out to Shusarabim. The people in Achsadra is like a gazebo. So it's made for people to sit in there, and they're not paying attention to what's on top. So they're not going to realize when they're going out to Shusarabim if it's parts of Milua to Shusarabim. So unless it's Tash Avir, right? So that's why it's not going to work. I see also the Reb Chaim also changes davar to avir, straight, not to avor and then to avir, but to avir. And I'll bring you the proof of this, says the Gemara. If you have a movi which is not covered over at all, but that's unclear, but they're saying put a cover in the proper place within 20 amos at the edge of the movi. Shemin kosher is not valid. If you have achsadra, this gazebo which doesn't have a roof, you put the cover within 20. To Shema Klumu, is it anything? So Korban Neder explains, when I say Movi Klum Arvateta, you should know, Shesh Laibim Movi Lachsadra, the Movi, Shena Makura, the Movi has no roof, Unita Bakora, Hanita Betoch, Chofu Chuyama. Everybody agrees it's Mutter. Lachsadra Sheena Makura, Lachsadra, which is not covered over, Aina Kora Matir Osul Chuyama, the Korah doesn't do anything for Lachsadra. That's what Shmuel says, Lachsadra, which has the roof, can't be above 20 amos. If it's above 20 amos, all you get is 4 amos. So there, even Achsadra obviously is more stringent than a Mavi, and it's also stringent that even a roof which would work by a Mavi does already Achsadra still only get 4 amos. Okay, then we have a picture in the article for the next Gemara. There's the opening of the Mavi was 15 amos. Can't be more than 10. Rabbi Bav, Rabbi Huna B'Shem Rav said, "Osa pasha shlosh amos for koshu." You make a pass to 3 amos and a koshu. That's a board. Marchim mekosher 2 amos. And he did it from the wall 2 amos. And also the koshu nido mishum lechi. That koshu is a lechi, and it says here vashar. Should change that to Vishari. I'll show the picture here. Over here. You see the top picture there. You have less than 2 amos, and then the 3 amo and 3 amo mashu of the board. and that becomes now lechi. Less than two. I said two tvachim. I meant 2 amos. Sorry, because now you have poritz merubah. So therefore you have 2 amos. I said love, I'm not sure what I said. You make 2 amos, and then 3 amos, and then you have the it's less than 10 amos over here. It's open, and you have 2 amos and 3 amos. It's a little bit less than 10 amos now, and that mashu becomes the lechi. In that case over there. And of course, as it says, Ushi Omer Rabba Chav, it's got to be Omer Ruba al Haports. I see the article brings out Shita that mashu, that it's more than the 3 amos, has to be a little bit wider or narrower, so it looks like a lechi. It's not continuous, but Pashtan Gemara is that as long as it's a mashu more, that already is going to be a lechi. Probably because the past 3 is less than 4 amos. 4 amos is the maximum share of a lechi in many cases. In all cases, so therefore it has to be a 3. It serves both as a stima for the 5 amos need to close up, and also as the lechi for the 10 amos, a little bit less than 10 amos, which is now open. It also brings down that, of course, the numbers 3 and 2 are not precise. It could be 2.6 and 2.4, but just why they wanted to give round numbers. Okay, so for the next case in the Gemara, I'm going to show you the article, but I'm not going to go to the article's pshat. I'm going to go to the Gilin Hashaz's pshat. The article's pshat is, the Gemara asks, he asked a pass at Bar Tfachim. So make a pass of 4 Tfachim. The pass of 4 Tfachim, you're going to put over here, in the middle, and that's enough to divide up into 2, and you'll still need a korah on top. Because now you have, you have 2 separate mavos, and you're going to have a korah on top. So but I'm going to go to the Shas. You like the Shas. He says, "Ein korban erev perusha dachuk." Minir the makshi has to pass arba ein lamido leorko shemavi. Put it sticking into the mavi 4 tvachim. V'yeh kishnei mavos, and now it's like 2 mavos. Command mar mesha mavi bar tvachim. Like the opinion shows us, extended Mabavi is 4 Tvachim. Came to Bavli, it says in Bavli, Didon, the Meshach Mavi Ba'arba Amos. So he says, V'zeh Borer. So in other words, according to the Bavli, you have to have 4 Amos sticking into the Mavui, because Bavli holds a share of Bromley is 4 amos. According to Yerushalmi, who has the opinion that it's 4 tvachim, you put the 4 tvachim in, and that 4 tvachim suffices to divide up the mavi into 2. Okay, so the Gemara says again, going back to the Gemara, going to finish getting the Shas later. V'yas pas arba tvachim lo keitani oisa pas arba tvachim. Amrei barbar papi kedei latir shteim below korah. In order to allow both sides without a korah. In other words, if you make that separate into 2 mavos, you still need, like the article's picture, 2 koros. We want to get it to do away with the koros that every made, the 2 amma, 3 amma, 8, which we had before. East Tani, there's a Bryce which says, Mami kind of a dukron. All you need is a stick and a stave. East Tani, osa pasha arba tvachim. And there's an opinion which shows you need 4 tvachim. So the Gilin Shas goes on. If you saw Katani, Mami Kona V'Dukron, I show it's Kona B'Emtza. I'm not sure why it says both Kona and Dukron, but he goes on and says, also, so Shleim, Vain Oroch Erech Dakron. So Tani Levi, Bavli, like Levi Bavli, no, it's Kona. So Kona Dukron, maybe it was one word, not Kona V'Dukron, Kona Dukron. Maybe somebody actually changed to the Girsa. I didn't check. Seems in the Karma Eda, it just says Dukron without above. So it could be that's his girsa. So in any event, all you need is a stick. East Tani, and there are those who learn pas arba. Going back to the Gemara, East Tani also pasha arba tvachim. Omer also pas arba tvachim. Looks like the opinion which holds 4 tvachim. And the Gilin Shas elaborates. It's tiny pas arba tvachim. Much lavnu. The nasa shtei mavos becomes 2 tvos. Veina avir mevato kos lamovi. Normally, when we have airspace on both sides of a standing structure, and the airspace is larger than standing structure, so then we say asavir the hagisa hagisa mavatole. So the airspace on both sides comes and cancels. So that's what you used to the kana dukron wouldn't be enough. That stick, that stave would not be enough because the airspace both sides are canceling. But if it's closer mavui, which has a chashivas fourth flock and going to mavi, dividing a mavi into two different mavos, so then we don't say be'ein avir mabato koisa mavi. Mashing kana. Eino mater, as opposed to kone, the asavir of chulei bavatole. Okay, so, and it says, the Yerushalmi goes on, it's like, Gamliel, okay, Abir Kane, Canal, we're going to see Gamliel in a minute. So, that's, he says, if you have a mavi which has two openings, you put a korah on one of them and be matir it through that one korah. Rabbi Yaakov said, you need two korahs on both. Ami Rabbi Ba said, Vuhu shemit konev dukron. And it's if you put up just a stick or a stave, avo or konev dukron. The stick, which is a stave. I'm also pass about look Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Halacha is like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. So Reb Chaim has a picture of this, but it gets confusing because it really incorporates the next case in the Gemara. So I'm not going to look at the picture yet, maybe afterwards. But so the meantime, we're going to go like the Gilin Shas says, and with an important Rashba who says that the Bavli argues on this Yerushalmi, and he says that if you divided the mavi with a kana dukron, then asay biyadagis vagis and batle, a korah on half of that doesn't work. It's not about korah, because like a korah going into thin air. It's not reaching the other wall. It's stopping the mavi on something which is just a stick, which itself is bato. So it's not good. But if I also pass abarat fachim, you put a pass abarat fachim in the middle, so then I look at Shingamil because that is not bato. You don't say asay a bit agis so bato when the pass is fourth fachim, and then the korah on one side is okay. Then the bavli doesn't hold the way. The bavli always need a korah across the entire. Even though you have on half of the mavli, which is really one of the two mavos, now it has pas arba. It doesn't help for the other side. It could be that when Yerushalmi, it holds here that korah is mishum heker. It's enough of a heker to have it on this part of the mavli, even though on the second part of the mavli you don't have it. Maybe that's why the Yerushalmi holds is good enough. But if you go korah mishum mechitza, it wouldn't work because it'd have to go across the entire thing. Okay, so now, but it gets more. They have a different. It's the variation of this theme. But Tanike, you also like this. Mavi shel arba psachim. You have a mavi which has 4 openings. Nice and korah b'me'echamehen. You put a korah on one of them, umatir and be matir all of them. How do you do it? Rabbi Yossi said, "V'hu shenasan alem tzoy." It's when you put it on the middle one. V'nasan achitza, you put it on the outer one. Nicho emer shukam matir. I understand. This side is matir pirza shebekan, but me matir pirza shehalem. Who's going to matir the pirza on the other side? So now, the question is what we're talking about. So according to Reb Chaim, we're talking about a case like this. If you put in the middle over here, it's good. That's going to work with a mavi which has 4 psachim. If you put it over here on the side, it's no good. Fine. Why? What's the difference between the tziurim? That's the question. So Reb Chaim wants to say this korah actually becomes like a Tzuras HaPesach. But it's difficult to say that. Actually, there's a mistake. He said Tzuras HaPesach on a previous case. But in this case, he says, on the contrary, he says it's not completely Tzuras HaPesach. It doesn't completely close it. It's a little bit open on each side. Okay. But in any event, why he says that, it's complicated and has to do with the Machlekes Mishnah Berurah Chazon Ish, which we're not going to get into right now. We're just going to learn simple, like the Korban Eda. That wherever the Korah is, and it sounds like we're switching from Korah Mishum Heker, but like we said before, the Korah Mishum Mechitza, but maybe it's, or even Korah Mishum Heker works the same way. I don't know. But the point is that if you put it in the middle, right, so now the Korah is as if it closes. So these 2 sides are now closed. And then you have Oim Rub in the middle, which was matter this side and matter that side. No problem. But if you put it over here, so then it's not going to do you any good because because you have here still these 2 openings, which are going to be not your Oim Rub corresponding to them. they're still going to be open, and therefore it's not going to work. And that's it doesn't. And basically, it's what the Korban Eda says. He says. Ushnasa Kora Pesach Mitzvah Oz Mutorin Kulan, and they're all mutar. That Kora Osa Pesach Zukil Stuma. This Kora makes its Pesach as if it's closed. Reish Yeshkan Stima B'Yesem Yeser. It's closure more than 10. Sheish Ot Stima Beino Beina Pesach Hasheni. There's another closure between it and the second opening. Pesach Shebeino Beina Kosel Eina El Eser, and there's only 10 in the openings on either side. So this opening in the middle, the double opening, which has a korah extending over both, is the parts. Pesach b'tzida kestuma, and Pesach side is closed up. So more than 20 is closed. And it's meruba if it's relative to the other psachim. And he says. So there's only 4 psachim. If it's 5 psachim, it not going to work because then you're going to have parts muba again. Avnasa pesach chitza, put it on the outer one. So honey pesach atzma matir akira. Okay, that is mutter in that pesach itself. Ami matir pesach how long? Klomar shab psachim matiron. What's going to be with the other ones? There's no way to be matir them. They're more than 10. They're 20 amos open. There's nothing to do with them. Okay, in this case. You're matir the 20 amos in the middle, and then you have a little bit less than 10 on each side. But in this case, over here, you're matir here, but you have more than 10 amos open over there. So it's not going to do any good. What's being matir them? And even if it's 4 tvachim, extending it, all these things extend them over 4 tvachim, not going to be good. They're still open. There's nothing on there. So where you have a korah over here, it's if it closes off, and therefore it's less than 10 amos here, less than 10 amos over there, you're okay. The core over here, not going to be good, because it's still going to be left over here with these openings, and more than 10 amos, almost 20 amos. And they have nothing to be matter them. So it says the Gemara, you know what? This is Sime, perhaps perhaps even this is only going to Shingam Leo. Maybe according to Rabbanan, it's not going to do any good at all. Maybe according to Rabbanan, again, I guess I'm not sure if Shingam Leah and Rabbanan argue about the Korah Mishum Chitza, Korah Mishum Heker. I don't have any proof for that. So that was just my speculation from before. But according to Shingam Leah is the one who holds that when you close off one side or part of it, the entire thing is closed off. Could be according to Rabbanan. No, each mavli separately requires its own Korah. The fact that you close off some of them is not good enough for the ones. Even if they're even close off the middle, the longer extend the middle, left the sides open, could be it's not going to work out. Only works according to Shagam, not according to Rabbanan. Okay, for the next sugya, you have to remember a fundamental principle in order to understand the Yerushalmi, which is that in the Bavli, when it talks about the same sugya in Davav, almost everybody holds, at least according to Rashi, that a Mavli Okum, you have a bent Mavli. There's a Yerushalmi on Eruvin, of course. You need to have a tikkun in the middle. Lech here, so it's a pesach in the middle. Okay, there is a that's Rashi. There's another places there, but let's just go with Rashi there and say that the Yerushalmi does not hold that way. The Yerushalmi doesn't require anything in the middle. The question is what the Yerushalmi does require. So that's what Yerushalmi is talking about here. So Mavi Okamu foolish. You have a Mavi which is bent and is a foolish. You have also a picture of Korban Eda here. Rabbi Yochanan Nita Belechi Nosin Lechi V'Korah Mikan was a Tzuras Pesach Mikan. You put a Lechi and a Korah on one side and a Tzuras Pesach on the other side. Rish Lakish Omar Nosin Lechi O Korah O Matir. You need only a Lechi or a Korah, but not a Tzuras Pesach at all. So again, they're both totally on the sides of the on the outsides, not in the middle, not by the Akmimus, not like the Pashup shot in the Rashi in the Bavli. So things like this. Al daite Rish Lakish Bikshla Susam Takona Elim Shtam Shia Mokum Masok Koso Velim Shtam Shia Mokum Koso. So according to the The problem is that these two mavos are separate mavos. So what do they do about the middle part? So again, we're talking about outputting up a source of best or anything there. So according to the Shlakish, they can only use until here. This one over here. And they can only use over till here. Each one can use to the dotted line, but not past the dotted line. V'lo nim to and there's a statement, not a question. And in order that the two rishus should not be overlapping and using this rishus together. Okay, if they want to use it, the Rav Yah, it's brought down by Yerushalmi Kipshuto, says in Yerushalmi, they need to make a shituf. They can't use it without a shituf. The Reb Chaim learns differently. He learns it's a question. Don't think about using one rishus. So each one uses it only according to Reb Chaim. That's an answer that they can use up to here. They can use up to there. So that's the way Reb Chaim learns. It's a question answer. That according to Rav Yah, it's just a statement. Up to the point where they can use it. And you don't have to rishus using any rishus which overlaps. So again, according to Reb Chaim, as a question, what about the area in the corner? And the answer is, they divide it up on the angle. According to Rav Yah, no, it's a statement the whole time. They don't use the area in the corner. Each one uses up to the place where it bends and up to it, and they don't overlap at all. Okay, again, overlap, they have to make a shituf. Okay, that brings the next amud, so we'll stop here, of course.